hear me now? Yes, sir. All praises. All right, we're about to get into a real deep topic. Remember, we're doing the Bible Unlocked, right? And so now we're going to be talking about, can the Gentiles get grafted in? This is deep, right? So I'm going to ask my Bible scholars out here. Did y'all know that some of the disciples was considered Gentiles? Which disciple was considered to be a Gentile?
Peter.
Which disciple? Elder got it right. Luke was considered a Gentile. Right? All right, so I'm going to have Elder read this real quick.
Many scholars believe that Luke was a physician who lived in the Hellenistic city of Antioch in ancient Syria, born of a Greek family, although some scholars and theologians think Luke was a Hellenistic Jew.
Are y'all hearing that? Yeah. Okay, so now, Luke was considered a Gentile, and this is what we're going to get into, breaking down the different meanings of Gentile, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here we go. Everybody on the screen? All right, so okay. There we go. It's coming on very slowly, but making the way. All right, Gentile, right? So we have two versions of Gentiles, and a lot of people that's in the Bible don't understand that, right? So we got to break it down because the Most High gave us the ability to be able to read the scriptures through the Spirit because we are the chosen people of the Most High, right? So He's given us this knowledge and understanding so we can break it down, and we're going to break it down to where it's undisputable, right? Okay, so now the word Gentile, right? And it says a foreign nation, hence a Jew, a troop of animals, or a flight of locusts, a Gentile heathen nation of people, right? Okay, so now we have people that's considered Gentiles, right? That's not of the Hebraic or of the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So anybody that's considered not a part of the blood of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which would be an Israelite, and you're not a blood of an Israelite, you will be considered a Gentile according to the Bible. When we was going to church all our life, they was telling us that we was Gentiles. They was like, oh, you're from the seed of Ham, so you were considered a Gentile, right? But that wasn't true. They was lying to us to get us not to understand. See, these pastors is going to school to be trained to teach us that we are not God's chosen people. Right? And so, as you do your research, you will find out Deuteronomy 28 was the curses of the Israelites, and those curses still apply to us today that will identify who we are, right? So we got Gentiles that's not of the nation that are considered Gentiles, right? And then we have another set of Gentiles, right? So the reason why this is so important to understand, because we sitting up here saying, a lot of people would sit up here saying that the 12 disciples wasn't Hebrew Israelites. And they was out preaching, trying to gather the Israelites. So if Luke wasn't an Israelite, how did he feel when Christ said, go out unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and that's it? Don't even go to nobody else but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He would have been offended. He'd be like, well, what about my people? You know what I'm saying? But Luke was a Hebrew, right? But he was living the life of a Gentile. It's the same thing that's going on with us today. Like all of us understand that we the Hebrews, right? And we came out of a life of living like a Gentile, doing anything and everything that the world was doing. We was doing Easter, Halloween, Christmas, we follow all of their traditions, but we're not following the traditions of the Most High, right? Okay, so now let's get into deeper, right? Because Luke wasn't the only one that was considered a Gentile, right? Let's go to Acts chapter 16, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Acts chapter 16, verse 1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek.
Oh, y'all see that? So Timotheus, which is Timothy, who has a whole chapter. He has 2 chapters in the Bible. 2 books. Timothy chapter 1 and 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy, right? So now we're going to say that Timothy wasn't a Hebrew and he got a whole chapter in the book. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important to do your research, right? So now we got his mother being a Jewess, right? And she believed, but his father was a Greek, right? All right, so now let's go to so that was Timothy, right?
Acts.
All right, so let's go to Acts 22, verse 1.
Acts chapter 22, verse 1. Men, brethren, and fathers, hear you my defense, which I make now unto you. And when they heard that he spoke in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence. And he said, I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous toward the Most High, as you all are this day. And I persecuted this way unto the death, binding and delivering into prisons both men and women.
Okay, so this is Paul, right? Saying that he was a Jew, right? But before he considered himself a Jew, he was killing Jews. Did y'all know that? He was persecuting them, put them in prison, and put them in jail. So he was really considered, in the eyes of a real Hebrew person, or even the converts that came in trying to act like they was us, he was considered a Hellenist Jew. So he would be considered a Gentile when he was doing that, right? So now we got Paul, we got Timothy, and then we got Luke, right? But let's keep going. Let's find out what happens.
Verse 4. And I persecuted this way unto death, binding and delivering into prisons both men and women, as also the high priest does bear me witness, and all the estate of the elders, from whom I also received letters unto the brethren, and went to Damascus to bring them which were there bound unto Jerusalem, for to be punished. And it came to pass that as I made my journey, and was come near unto Damascus about noon, suddenly there shone from heaven a great light round about me. And I fell unto the ground, and heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecute you me? Then I answered, Who are you? And he said unto me, I am the Shia of Nazareth, whom you persecute. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid, but they heard not the voice of him that spoke to me.
All right, did y'all hear that? All right, so he was on his way to Damascus. A big light came upon him. He fell off his horse, and he heard the voice say, why are you persecuting me? Do you hear that? So when they was persecuting the Hebrews, Christ said you was persecuting me. Right? Okay, so let's keep going.
Verse 10. And I said, what shall I do, Lord? And the Messiah said unto me, arise and go into Damascus, and there it shall be told you of all things which are appointed for you to do. And when I could not see for the glory of that light, being led by the hand of them that were with me, I came into Damascus. And one Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Jews which dwelt there, he came unto me and stood and said unto me, Brother Saul, receive your sight. At the same hour I looked up upon him. And he said, the power of our fathers has chosen you, that you should know his will, and see that just one, and should hear the voice of his mouth. For you shall be his witness unto all men of what you have seen and heard. And now why tarry you? Arise and be baptized and wash away your sins, calling on the name of Yeshua. And it came to pass that when I was come again to Jerusalem, even while I prayed in the temple, I was in a trance, and saw him saying unto me, make haste and get you quickly out of Jerusalem, for they will not receive your testimony concerning me.
All right, so this was the moment that Paul started to change and realize that who he was, what he was doing to his own people, and he was being converted back into his rightful state. This is like us being a police officer. We hunt down our people, and some of the people ain't even doing nothing, and we just grabbing them, putting them in jail, we shooting them down, and then Christ will come to you and say, why are you persecuting me? Why are you coming against your own people? Do you know you one of us? Right? Okay, so now we have Paul, Luke, Timothy, right? Let's go to Galatians chapter 2, verse 1.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 1. Then 14 years after I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas, and took Titus with me also. And I went up by revelation, and communicated unto them that gospel which I preached among the Gentiles, but privately to them which were of reputation, lest by any means I should run, or had run in vain. But neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised.
Oh, so now Titus was considered a Greek. So now we got Luke, Paul, Timothy, and Titus. Don't Titus got some books in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to say that Gentile can't, remember the Most High said the Gentiles unto him are of a drop of a bucket, or almost nothing. But they're going to allow Timothy and Titus to teach you the word. And even to this day, going against the Bible? Come on, man. We got to break this down. What happened? What took place? Right? Let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1. 2 Maccabees in the Apocrypha, okay? So for the people the first time knowing this, this is the Apocrypha. This is 14 books that they took out of the Bible. The Roman Catholic Church took this out of the Bible, so that's like, what, 200 years worth of history that we didn't have at first, and we got it back. And so when we're reading this, we're reading the history that took place in between the Old Testament and the New Testament. So for you to really truly understand the New Testament, and you don't know the history that took place in right before it came to be, right? You're not going to get it. You're not going to understand. And this is why Paul's writings will be a damnation unto you. You're going to be preaching foul stuff. You're going to not understand nothing that's going on. So we got to put the history, the biblical, the history, the science, the precepts, everything got to match up, right? So we're going to match it up right now. Okay, so what happened in between the Old Testament and the New Testament?
2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of Ahia, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympius.
All right, did y'all hear that? Wait, somebody break that down, what they said real quick. I don't think people really understand what they said. Break it down.
It sounds like these heathens took our temple in Jerusalem and tried to turn it into a stadium with Greeks doing sports and stuff. Right?
Okay. Well, who else? Anybody else?
They were trying to change it over and give it to their God.
Okay.
To convince the Jews to turn away from Most High and the belief.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to get this on the screen real quick. I can't remember how to take this to the 1611. And oh, here we go right here. All right, so we had 2 Maccabees.
6 and 1.
2 Maccabees, Luke, that's 1 Maccabees. 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, and we had verse what now? Okay. All right, make this bigger. No. All right, well, okay, so we have verse 2. All right, so start over so they can actually see what's being said right here. Let's read that again. Verse 1.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of the Most High.
Do y'all hear this? He said that it was a man sent from Athens, right? His whole job was to make the children of Israel not keep the laws of the Most High God. Are y'all hearing this? All right, read.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius, and that in the garrison of Jupiter the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place.
Read.
The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people. For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots, and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places, and besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbids. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Did y'all hear that? All right, so they came in, polluted our temple, told us that it was against the law for you to say that you are a Jew. These are the people that we was dealing with. These were the converts that was coming in. These are the same people that's doing this today, right? When we see the athletes, and the entertainers and all of the superstars starting to come out and say, "Hey, I'm a Jew," and then we be like, "Oh, you better bow down. You better ask for forgiveness. You better apologize, or we gonna take everything away from you." It's the same format being done right now. They do not want a Negro to say he a Jew. The reason why they don't want a Negro to say he a Jew because the Negro is the Jew.
Bring it up.
Right? They got all kind of other nations claiming to be Jewish, right? And they don't have a problem with that. But soon as a Negro says it, they ready to chop your head off. right? So this is still going on today, but back then it was even worse. Can you imagine us? Because remember, we the real Jews. They did this to our people, right? So our people want to serve the Most High. We can't keep the holy days no more. We can't keep the Sabbath day no more. And then it's against the law for you to say you were Jew. You had to tuck your fringes in. You had to take your fringes off, right? And then if you wanted to be boss with it, like, man, I'm going to do it anyway. What did they do to us? What they do to us, really?
Verse 7. And in the day of the king's birth every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
So if we didn't conform to what they was telling us to do, we was to be put to what? Yeah. We was to put to what? Yeah. Read.
Then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought, who had circumcised their children, who when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
Okay, so the women that wanted to circumcise their children on what day?
On the Sabbath.
No. When you supposed to circumcise on the 8th day. So they was following the law. They said, I'm about to sacrifice my baby on the 8th day. They came over there and hung them on the wall for all the people to see. You better not circumcise your babies no more. Right? Verse 11.
And others that had run together in caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Woo-wee. So they said we was trying to keep the Sabbath day like we doing today, right? They came in here and burnt everybody up because we was keeping the Shabbat. This is what happened to our people, right? This is the hidden story that they don't want to tell you. And this is why we call this the Bible Unlocked. Because the Bible is unlocked now. All of our ancestors, everything that they went through, we about to bring it out. You are not about to be able to hide the devilish things that you did to our people and hanging us and burning us and castrating us and chopping us up and doing all of the things that you wanted to do because you want to be a fake Jew. We're not doing it no more. We're going to expose you and we're about to bring out the real, true gospel. This is the real gospel that got to come out. These so-called Negroes on the corner, all the gangbangers, all the drug dealers, all of us that's suffering in the streets, right? And we're not just suffering because of our own demise. We suffer because it's a government thing that's pushing all of this stuff upon us. This is a higher power coming against us, making us gangbang, making us sell drugs. We ain't got no coca leaves, what you call that stuff to be making cocaine out here? We don't have no gun factory where we can sit up here and make guns, right? And they established little do you know, every gang was set up by the government. They tell them how far your hood is supposed to be. This how big your hood gonna be. This how big your hood gonna be. You better hold it down, and they hold it down, bro. This is way bigger than just some black people just out here cutting up, right? All right, let's keep going.
Verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Most High patiently forbear to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so deals he with us.
All right, we're going to stop right there. Now, right? Okay, so we see that it was against the law for a Hebrew to say he was a Jew. This was 200 years, y'all. 200 years. They were stopping the real Hebrews from saying that they was Hebrews. And guess what we had to take on? We had to take on other identities. We had to say we was a Greek. We had to say we was a Roman. We had to say we was all these different things, wherever we was at. We the Egyptians. we gonna be a Hamite now, right? But you're really a Hebrew. And these people, fathers and stuff, was pushing this on the children, right? So when Christ came to the scene, and they seen him being a black man and all these converts ruling everything, he came in letting them know, like, hold up, I'm the real Jew. I'm the one who knows the real commandments, and he was going in the synagogue, hitting them up. I was like, who was this little kid? I think how old was he? 12 years old? In the synagogue, hitting them up, and they was like, man, how does this little baby know these commandments like this? He better than us, right? Because he was the real Jew, the Son of the Most High, coming back to redeem his people. Do you know that after they killed Christ, all of these things start happening, man? People was popping up out their graves. It was an earthquake that shook the whole world. It was an eclipse. It was mountains and rocks falling on people. Man, they were so scared. They was like, man, y'all, all the black people, we acknowledge y'all as the real people, and we're going to put y'all in Jerusalem. You do not have to say you're not a Jew no more. We know. We believe now, right? Y'all going to go to Jerusalem, right? But then 70 years after that, guess what happened? They said we was going to take us down again. It was called Babylon to Timbuktu. And they came and they raided Jerusalem, and this is when we had to run into Egypt, or Africa, right? We was running to all these different places trying to escape from the Romans trying to kill us, right? Okay, so now let's go deeper. Let's get the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Who got it? All right, let's just use your book real quick. So one person in here got the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Oh, no. I have
I can't be too mad because I forgot mine myself. All right, so we going to the word Hellenist in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, and it says what?
Hellenist is a Hellenist. They are Jews who made Greek their tongue.
They are Jews who what?
They made Greek their tongue.
They are Jews who made Greek their tongue. Are y'all hearing this? So if you was a Hebrew and you made Greek your tongue, and what else is it?
And with it, often adopted Greek ideas and practices.
Greek ideas and practices, meaning that you're going to be worshiping Bacchus. You're going to be worshiping the sun god. You're going to be sitting up here worshiping all these other gods. You're not going to be doing what the Most High told you to do. So now let's bring it to where we are right now, right? You're going to be going to church on Sunday. Because the Most High told you to keep the Sabbath day holy, right? So you're going to be going to church on Sunday. You're going to be doing, doing Buddhism You're going to be thinking that you are a Jehovah's Witness, a Baptist, a Catholic, a Seventh-day Adventist. All of these things are set up to make us Hellenists. Are y'all hearing me? Right? So, Paul, Luke, Titus, and Timothy was all Hellenistic Jews. Now, Hellenistic Jew means what again? Somebody raise their hand and tell me what a Hellenistic Jew is. Go ahead.
Jew that made Greek their tongue.
All right, so a Jew that made Greek their tongue and took on Greek practices, right? So now, with this understanding, now that we got this understanding, now we can break down the grafting in. Because without you understanding that, it's no way you will understand what we're going to go through right now. All right, so will the Most High cast away Israel, right? So some people think that Israel don't exist no more because we're in the new covenant, right? They believe that we're in the new covenant right now. So if you're in the new covenant, everybody can come in. Everybody gonna be a Hebrew. You're gonna be a Hebrew through the Spirit, right? So let's see if that's true, right? So let's go to Romans 11 and 1.
Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, as the Most High cast away his people, God forbid, for I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
So the Most High cast away his people? No, he did not cast away his people, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 33:25.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 25. Thus saith the Most High, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob, and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return, and have mercy on them.
So he said, if they can take away the covenant with day and night, he will cast away his people. Can they take the covenant away of day and night? So that means that the covenant of day and night is still going on right now. So that means his people is still here right now, right? Okay, so remember the Jewish people believe that they the only ones, right? They not even the people at all. I'm going to repeat, at all, right? Their bloodline does not go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They converted into it. That's why they had that ish on the back of a Jew, right? They wish they was a Jew, because they not. They took our identity. Are y'all hearing me, right? Okay, so now, we are the real Jews. Remember, it's 12 tribes. You never hear a Jewish person talking about 12 tribes.
Wow.
You never hear them saying Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Issachar. Where was all of them? Right? In the last days, you know that the Most High going to have 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel, of men, who's going to stand and be the victors in the last days. Right? He's going to take 12,000 from each tribe. How we going to explain? Can they explain that? Where is remember I told you it was a book that was written, the 13th tribe, right? Because the man was bringing it out. They killed him and his wife, and he was bringing it out. Y'all must be the 13th tribe because y'all ain't a part of the 12. Yeah. All right, so now let's get more information. Okay, so let's go to Romans 9 and 4. Go up to verse 3. I didn't put it on here, but let's start at verse 3.
So Romans chapter 9 and verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Woo! He said, I wish I was accursed of my own flesh, right? Because of, that's who? Read them.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites.
Who are who?
Israelites.
All right, go ahead.
To whom pertains the adoption.
To whom pertains the adoption, right? So remember, we're going by scripture. Do you know what adoption means? Adoption means we bringing you in as our own, right? So that's another word for adoption is grafted in. Do you know that? Go ahead.
The adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law.
So the glory, the giving of the law, and the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, all pertain to the Israelites only. And what else?
And the service of the Most High.
And the service of the Most High. This means that all the people that's really truly supposed to be teaching this word is supposed to be the Israelites. Because the Most High is dealing with us to get to the other nations. Are you hearing me? We are the leaders of the earth. We are the real teachers. All right? And then it said what?
And the promises.
And all the promises are for the Israelites. All right, so now. All right, so we about to get deep. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to Romans 11 and 17.
Romans chapter 11, verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and you, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partake of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
All right, if some of the branches be broken off, and thou become a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and partakers of not of the fatness of the olive tree. Now, when I first came into the truth, and I've been in the truth now probably like close to 20 years. And so when the Most High revealed to me that I was a Hebrew Israelite, I was blown away. I was excited. I was ready to do whatever the Most High wanted me to do. And he was showing me he wanted me to be a teacher, right? But as I was studying, I went to Romans chapter 11, and I'm like, wait a minute. If the Gentiles can get grafted in, then it don't make no sense for me to say I'm an Israelite, because anybody can be an Israelite. Everybody gonna be on the same page, and ain't nobody gonna be different. So I had to stop. I was like, Father, you going to show me. No, I didn't. I'm going to rephrase that. I didn't go to him first. But I was saying, how can I preach that I'm an Israelite when an Israelite really don't matter, because anybody that get grafted in can be an Israelite. You see what I'm saying? So it was the change of the whole. I was stuck. So I went on a fast, right? And then when I went on this fast, I don't know how long I did it, I can't remember, but I was on a fast for a minute. And then I started calling other Hebrew teachers that was out there at that time, right? And I'm like, hey man, can you break down Romans 11, 12? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't get it. I don't understand. A couple of people I called, they hung the phone up in my face. Say, brother, get off my phone. Right? A couple of people said, hey, bro, I ain't got time to try to break down nothing to you right now. They got off the phone. Then finally, a couple of brothers that I got on the phone with, they couldn't break it down. They was like, I'm stuck like you stuck, right? And so I was about to give up. I was like, okay, well, shoot, I can't break this one down. And then the Most High said, did you ask me? I was like, oh, shoot, let me get up. Father, please show me what's going on here, right? So I just started opening up the Bible, and he started breaking it down. showing me exactly what is going on and how it's supposed to be broke down. And it was so immaculate that I pushed it out to the world, and a lot of Hebrews grabbed onto it. Because if you really in this book and you read Romans chapter 11 and you don't understand this and you think that the Gentiles will be grafted in and you calling yourself an Israelite, it don't even matter according to the way you think. Anybody can get Israelite. You might as well just say we all Israelites, right? So now, we just read in Romans chapter 11, verse 17, that the branches is broken off, and we had wild olive trees, and we had people being grafted in, right? So let's break this down. Remember, when I told y'all this is the secret, so you will understand how to read the New Testament. The disciples did not have the New Testament in their hand. Peter couldn't say, let me turn to Paul. Luke couldn't say, let me turn to Matthew. Y'all get that? They had the Torah in their hand. So when Paul was writing this, what was he writing about? Where did he get this from? Right? How did he know about grafted in and broken branches and all of this? Let's find out how this is all being broke down, right? So let's go to Jeremiah 11, verse 16. So he was quoting Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 16. The Most High called your name, a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. Whoa.
Y'all see this? He said the Most High called them a green olive tree. Didn't we just read that over here in Romans? All right, read it.
With the noise of a great tumult, he has kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Wow. Okay, so now we see that the branches were broken, right? So we see a green olive tree, and then we also see broken branches, and the branches got broken through a great tumult. We're going to get in that in a few minutes. Read.
17. For the Most High host that planted you has pronounced evil against you, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves, to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal.
All right, so this verse is showing that the green olive tree is the house of Israel. Are y'all seeing this? But the noise of a great tumult broke off the branches. Right? What is this great tumult? What is this? Let's find out. Let's go to Psalms 83, verse 1.
Psalm, chapter 83, and verse 1.
Keep not you silent, O Hiah. Hold not your peace, and be not still, O Hiah. For lo, your enemies make a tumult.
Uh-oh, there go that word tumult. What does the word tumult mean? Uprising. So the enemies made an uprising and said what?
And they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against your hidden ones.
All right, so this crafty counsel, this uprising, this tumult, right? They was plotting against the children of Israel, right? What was the plot? Read.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? He said, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. This is how you became the broken branches. Because you didn't know who you were. You didn't have your identity. You didn't know who the Most High was. You didn't know your heritage. You didn't know your language. You didn't even know the Most High at all. You didn't know Christ at all. Right? Because they was teaching you another Christ. They was teaching you another God. Right? So we was the broken branches. So what Paul was writing about, he was saying in the last days, the world is going to get so corrupt that the children of Israel are going to be considered broken branches and Gentiles and Hellenistic because they are not going to know who they are. We bringing out the truth right now. We are running somebody and tell them they don't even care. It's like, get this out of here, man. I don't want to hear nothing about me being no Hebrew. I'm just a black man. I'm a Negro. I'm just me. Right? They don't care. They don't care about what happened in the past to their people, to your own people that brought you here, the pain and suffering that they had to go through to bring you here. When you hear somebody say they don't care about slavery, it is the worst thing that a black person can ever say. Somebody suffered for you to be here. He could have gave up. She could have gave up. She could have killed herself and you wouldn't even been here. But she suffered through all of that to bring you here on this earth, and you're going to say, I don't care about slavery. That's the worst thing, right? So now, even to this day, they're trying to make us not know who the Israelites are. They want the word Israelite to be evil. Do you even hear Jewish people calling themselves Israelites? Nope. But when you see on the news now, oh, black Hebrew Israelites is over here trying to shoot somebody. Black Hebrew Israelites over here stole something. Black Hebrew Israelites is over to uprise. We got to do something about it. We got to say something. Are y'all paying attention to what they're doing? You would never see no black Hebrew Israelite going on a shooting spree. Because we keep the commandments. And if you do see it, they set it up. They set that up. Half of the people that they was trying to say that was Hebrew Israelites, they said he shot up a Jewish school. And then we looking at the people, and then we know all the Hebrews all over the United States. They ain't in part of nobody group. How they gonna be Hebrew Israelites? You see what I'm saying? They Hebrew Israelites by blood, but not practicing it. Because if they was practicing it, we know we can't do stuff like that. We gonna stand there right now. Okay, so now. Right? So we broke down the tumult. We found out how the branches got broken. Right? So let's go back to Jeremiah 11. And we're going to start at verse 18.
Jeremiah 11, chapter 11, verse 18. The Most High has given me knowledge of it, and I know it. Then you show me their idols. They're building them, right? But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered. But O Ahia of hosts.
All right, start right there. So he said, let us cut them off from the land of the living, that the name of Israel be no more remembrance. Are y'all hearing? This is what the precept, when you bring a precept with this is what they saying. They don't want you calling yourself no Hebrew Israelite, because this was the start in Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a prophet. He was looking in the future, seeing what they was about to do to us. Right? The Most High was showing him that they was going to stop us from knowing that we was the Hebrew Israelites, and it was going to cut us off from the land of the living and make us what? The dry bones. Ezekiel 37, the dry bones. That's who you are, the walking dead. Not knowing who you are, cut off from your counterparts. meaning that you don't know the Most High. You don't know your people. You don't know your language. You don't know your land. You have no connection because it was taken from you, and now you are considered the broken branches. All right, we got to go deeper, right? So now, we're back to Romans 11, and we're going to go to verse 23.
Romans chapter 11, verse 23. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For the Most High is able to graft them in again.
Oh man, did y'all hear that? He said, they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, should be grafted in. For a higher is able to graft them in again. Right? Are y'all hearing this? So if you get grafted in, he's grafting you in again to something that you was already a part of. So that would mean that the other nations would have had to be a part of it in the beginning to get grafted in. And they wasn't. They wasn't. So he said, this is how you're going to be grafted in again. Wow. Unbelievable. Right? So now, when I start breaking this down, a lot of teachers be like, well, you know what? He said wild olive trees. So the wild olive trees got to be the other nations, right? I said, okay, let's break it down. All right, so let's read 11 and 17 again.
11, verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and you, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partake of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Okay, so we see the wild olive tree, right? Okay, so now, the definition of the wild olive tree, right, in the Greek, right, if we look it up, it means an olive, the tree, or the fruit, an olive, a berry, or a tree. Y'all see that? Okay, so now, let's do some research. Remember Paul writing from the Old Testament. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5, verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, between me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it?
So the Most High made a vineyard, right? And he said, what more could I have done for my vineyard, right? Read.
Wherefore, when I wrote that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
It brought forth what?
Wild grapes.
Wild what?
Wild grapes.
Wild grapes. The definition of wild grapes is poison berries, right? And then, so remember the definition in the Greek was berries too, right? So he's calling us wild grapes or wild berries or wild branches, right? Now watch this.
Verse 5. And now go to. I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it.
Okay, read.
For the vineyard of the Most High of Hosts is the house of Israel.
The vineyard is the what?
The house of Israel.
The house of Israel. So therefore, remember, he called us the wild grapes, the wild berries, the wild branches. right? Are y'all seeing this? The wild olives. We are the wild olives, which the Most High said, I ain't gonna even let rain hit it no more. Because y'all up here cutting up, I'm gonna shut everything down. So now that we read all of that, let's read Revelation 11 from the beginning and break it all the way down. Romans 11.
Chapter 11.
Start verse 1.
Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, has the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. Read. The Most High has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What you not what the scripture said of Elias, how he makes intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, they have killed your prophets, and digged down your altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life.
Okay, so he said in Isaiah, they have killed the prophets, and digged down the altars and left him alone, right? And they seek to kill his life. Read.
But what said the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Okay, so he was thinking he was by himself, but Most High said, hey, I got 7,000 men who ain't bowed down to Baal. Right? So just don't think ever that you're the only one putting it down, because the Most High always got somebody else somewhere putting it down too. Read.
Verse 5. Even so then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Oh my goodness. He said there is a remedy according to the election of grace, right? So now that we understand all of the history, you see how the book is just opening up to you and you really seeing what it's saying? Read.
Verse 6. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace. Otherwise works is no more work. What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeks for, but the election has obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Whoa, did you hear that? I know somebody just said something in the group chat to everybody else. So read that again. Adar.
You guys hear it?
And if by grace,
No, verse 7.
What then?
He said, what then?
Israel has not obtained that which he sought for.
So Israel has not obtained what they were seeking for. He said, but what?
But the election has obtained it.
But the election have obtained it. And what?
And the rest were blinded.
And the rest was what?
Blinded.
The rest was what?
Blinded.
They couldn't see. They didn't understand. They didn't know. They was the ones that was broken off. Are y'all seeing this now? Right? Read.
Verse 8. According as it is written, Ahijah has given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
Until this what? Until this what? Until this very day. Even now, right here, right now, still people are like, I don't see this. I ain't know he do. I ain't changing my life. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. And God going to let me in. You better stop thinking that. We got to bow down to the creator of all things. We got to love him more than we love ourselves. Right? All right, read.
Verse 9. And David said, Let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Read.
Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? A higher forbid.
Woo! Hold up, stop. He said, is the stumble so hard that they ain't gonna be able to get up no more? He said, God forbid. Read.
But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Okay, salvation is common to the Gentiles to provoke them to jealousy, right? Now, remember, these Gentiles right here are the elect ones, the ones that don't know who they are, who can't see, who don't have no understanding, and these are the elect ones. We gotta bring these people in. Read.
Verse 12. Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my office.
So this is Paul said, I'm speaking to you Hellenists, right? In so much that I am an apostle to the Hellenists. Why? Because I was one. Timothy was one. Luke was one. Am I missing somebody? Titus was one, right? So I'm magnifying my office for you. Right? Read.
14. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
All right, so he said, if by any means I may provoke the emulation of them which are my who? Flesh. So he said these Gentiles are his what? Flesh. These Gentiles are his what? Flesh. These Gentiles are his flesh, meaning the same nation of people that Paul was. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? You see how the book is unlocked? All right, read.
Verse 15. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be, but life from the dead? For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off.
Oh, so some of the branches get broken off, right? How is it getting broken off? Because they lost their knowledge, and it was a great tumult, and we lost our understanding, right? Read.
And you, being a wild olive tree.
We being a wild olive tree, because the Most High made a vineyard, right? And then he wanted us to be good berries, and we turned out to be wild berries, and he didn't even want to rain on us no more, right? He said, what?
Being a wild olive tree were grafted in among them.
These peoples are going to be grafted in among them, which are Hebrews from the disobedience and the ones who have no understanding. Read.
And with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
Woo! He said partakers of the root and the fatness. You know what the fatness is? The goodness of the olive tree. He said, so you know he can't be talking about just anybody coming into this, right? Read.
Verse 18. Boast not against the branches, but if you boast, you bear not the root, but the root you.
Okay.
You will say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in.
He said the branches got broken off that I might be grafted in. Read.
Well, because of unbelief they were broken off.
Because unbelief, they were broken off. So these people was a part of the tree, and unbelief happened and broke them off. Read.
And you stand by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear.
Read.
For if the Most High spared not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not you.
Read.
Behold, severity of the higher on them which fell, severity. But toward you, goodness, if you continue in his goodness, Otherwise you also shall be cut off.
He said, if you don't continue in goodness, all you won't get cut off. Read.
And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in.
So if they come out of unbelief and start believing, we gonna be able to graft it in. Read.
For Ahiah is able to graft them in again.
Because Ahiah is able to graft them in again. Read.
24. For if you were cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
Woo! Read.
For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery.
So he said, brethren, don't be ignorant of this mystery, because it sounds like a mystery, right? Especially if you won't have the understanding and the history behind it, right? This is going to be a mystery to some people. Read.
Lest you should be wise in your own conceit.
Don't be wise in your own conceits. Read.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
So when Israel got blind, the branches got broken off. Read.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
So the fullness of the Gentiles come in. So the same people that got broken off got to come back, because they was considered Gentiles, because they were living a Gentile life. They was considered Hellenists, and they had to be the ones to come back in again. Read.
26. And so all Israel shall be saved.
And so this is how what?
All Israel shall be saved.
So this is how all Israel will be saved. Are y'all hearing me? This is for all Israel to be saved. We are the broken branches of the house of Israel, and we get grafted back in so we can be saved. Read.
As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes. But as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sakes. For the gift and calling of Ahiah are without repentance.
Read.
For as you in times past have not believed the Most High.
Whoa! Did you hear this? Did y'all catch that? Yeah. In times past, you didn't even believe in the Most High. What made you a what? A Gentile, a Hellenist, right? He said what?
Yet have now obtained mercy through their unbelief.
So when you didn't believe, the Most High gave you mercy. Read.
Even so have these also now not believed, that through your mercy they also may obtain mercy.
Read.
For Ahiah has concluded them all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all.
Woo! Read.
Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out. For who has known the mind of Ahiah, or who has been his counselor? Or who has first given to him, and it shall be recompensed unto him again? For of him, and through him, and to him are all things, to whom be glory forever. So be it.
Woo! All praises to the Most High. Woo! We brought Romans 11 down. Okay, so let's go to Romans chapter 9, verse 1. Let's break this down, because this is a part of that, right?
Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Read.
Who are the Israelites, to whom pertains the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Ahia.
Okay, so the Israelites pertain adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of the Most High, and all the promises. Read.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, Ahia, blessed forever.
Did y'all catch that, verse 5? Whose are the fathers of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came. Christ came through the Hebrew Israelites, meaning that he was one of them too. Right? All right, read.
Verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Okay, so everybody that's of Israel ain't Israel. Right? What do he mean by this? Read.
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children. But in Isaac shall your seed be called.
Okay, so Abraham had many sons, right? But he only chose Isaac to carry out this special bloodline, right? So the special blood of all the children that Abraham had, they was considered Hebrews, but not Israel. Even Isaac wasn't considered an Israelite yet. He was just an Hebrew. But he said, through Isaac, my seed will be called. Read.
Verse 8. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Ahia, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So the children of the promise are counted by the what? The seed. The word seed in this verse means sperma, right? Which means a male sperm, meaning that these people is going to come from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Read.
Verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Ahia according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calls. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
All right, so now, wait a minute, Esau and Jacob, right? So who came out first?
Esau.
And he said the elder shall serve the younger, right? So this is where the first white man ever came upon the earth, right? Right? His nation of people came upon the earth. So he had Jacob and Esau at the same time. There was two different nations of people in one woman's body. And this is what the Bible says. These was two different separate nations. Right? Even though they was a brother, they was creating two different nations, right? All right, so read.
13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
So now the Most High said he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau, right? Read.
14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High?
So is it unrighteousness with the Most High because he said he hated a nation of people?
God forbid.
He said, God forbid. So the same characteristics that the Most High gave you, he have it too. He wouldn't be the Most High if he didn't. He can say, I love this one and I don't like that one. Or I hate this one. He can say that. He's the Most High. There is no unrighteousness with the Most High. Read.
Verse 15. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Can the Creator do that? Is he in his rightful state to say, I love this one, but I don't like this one, or I hate this one? Right? Right? If you had the power to do that, then and he didn't, you would be more powerful than God. Right? Read.
Verse 16. So then it is not of him that wills, nor of him that runs, but of the Most High that shows mercy. Read. For the scriptures say unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore has he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardens. You will say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who has resisted his will? No, but, O man, who art you that replied against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why have you made me thus? Has not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and another unto dishonor?
So he said, just imagine you was making like something out of clay, right? And the first one you made, it was perfect. You love that one. But the second one you made, you said, I don't like this one. I think I'm going to get rid of it, or I'm just going to put this over to the side. Do you have the right to do that because you made it?
Yeah.
This is the same thing that the Most High is saying. I have created all nations of people and every living thing on this earth. So if I love one and hate another, it doesn't mean that I am unrighteous or being not the good Most High. You know what I'm saying? All right, read.
Verse 22. What is the higher, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. Even us, whom he has called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
He said, I have not just called the Jews, but also the Gentiles. What Gentiles is he talking about? The Hellenists. Right? Read.
25. And he, as he said, also unto OC.
So who is OC? Hosea, right? He said, as I said in Hosea, right? What did he say?
I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not my beloved.
Okay, so let's go there real quick. All right, so let's go to Hosea 2, and we're going to start at 22.
Hosea chapter 2.
Start at 21.
Hosea chapter 2, verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, said the Most High, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth.
So the Most High said, one day is going to come, I'm going to start listening to the earth again. Right? And what's going to happen?
And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth. And I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, you are my people. And they shall say, you are my power.
Wow. Did y'all hear this? So he will say to them that were not his people, that you are my people, and they shall say, you are my God. So where in the world is the people being not called the people? For some reason, they want to tell the Negroes, they automatically, you are not the people, you are not the people, you are not the people. But the same people that they call as not the people should be called the people of the living God. Right? All right, so let's go back. Where was we at?
Romans.
We was at Romans. Hold on a second.
26.
Yeah, Romans 9
26.
and We was on Romans 9 and what?
We left off at 26.
Okay. All right.
So
We stopped at 25.
go ahead. Okay. So 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God.
Okay, but he didn't just say it once. He said it twice. Let's read over here. Let's go to Hosea 1 and 9.
Hosea 1 and 9.
Yeah, because we want to break it down who his people is. He ain't saying Gentiles is my people. He's saying, let's find out who he's saying his people is.
Then said the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God.
Read.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them,
It was said to who? To them. Who was them? The children of Israel. He said, yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, and cannot be measured nor numbered. It shall come to pass in the place where it was said to them. Who was them? The people that was considered Gentiles, that was really Israelites. What are you going to say?
you are not my people.
You are not my people. Right? Read.
There it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living God.
There it shall be said to them, you are the sons of the living God. Do y'all hear me?
Come on.
What does it say after that?
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Ooh, it's getting heated. All right, so back to Romans chapter 9. We was at 25. Now we're on 27.
27. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Most High make upon the earth. And as Isaiah said before, except the Most High, except the Lord of Sabaoth had left us a seed, we had been as Solomon, and been made like unto Gomorrah.
All right, so let's start right there. He said in Isaiah. Isaiah is Isaiah, right? So Isaiah 11, we're going to start at verse, so I want to read this whole thing. So let's start at verse 9. Isaiah 11, verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 9. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Ahijah, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
For an ensign to the people, right? So he said it's going to be a root that's going to come from Jesse, right? Read.
To it shall the Gentiles seek.
To this shall the Gentiles seek. Read.
And his rest shall be glorious.
Read.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
The remnant of his people. Read. Read.
Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So he gonna also bring up an ensign. He gonna gather us from where? The four corners of the earth. So all praise to the Most High. This is the breakdown of Romans chapter 11. how the Gentiles is the real Hebrew Israelites. They are the Hellenists, and could not call themselves Jews. They was being persecuted because if they wanted to keep the commandments, they was losing their life. If they wanted to say they was Jews, they was losing their life. And this is why it's so important for us in this day and time to bring out all these facts to redeem our people. Right? So all praise to the Most High. We're going to end it right there. And part 3 is coming up. We're still on Paul's writings, the Bible Unlocked. We're going to be unlocking all of this stuff so you can be able to break it down. Hopefully you wrote down all of the precepts. And then what you can, we're going to put this on YouTube so you guys can go back and listen to it over and over again and break it down as to many people as possible. You come to one class with the California Hebrews, you can learn more about the Bible than you ever learned in all your years on earth. Go ahead.
Okay, what is the remnant?
The remnant is the house of Israel. That means a small amount of chosen people that the Most High is looking for. That's a remnant. Yeah. And you have a question now? Or you just scratching your head?
I was scratching my head, but
okay.
I asked a question though. I was thinking it, but that's good. That's crazy for them. Hey, in Revelations, right? It say
Revelations or Romans?
Oh, no, I'm thinking about Revelations.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but it say I think it's talking about the 666 is for it's a number of a man. And I was wondering what that meant. Like when it said a number of a man, I've been stuck on it. I've been trying to figure it out.
It tells you who that man is, Satan. And right now they got all these conspiracy, these dudes think that they got all of this knowledge, these Egyptologists coming out of nowhere, and they saying that 666 is actually the 6 elements of the six protons, electrons, and all of that, which ain't even true. Well, it ain't even true, because when you start studying how many electrons and all of that stuff that we got, it's not just 6. It's way more than 6. So they have tricked us for us to embrace 666. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people is sitting up there doing these seances with 666. They're trying to make witchcraft look good. I don't know if y'all been seeing this, but a lot of our people that's witches is coming out and they trying to make witchcraft look good. They trying to say voodoo is good, right? It's a whole flip going on right now, so don't get caught up into that. But Satan is the 666. All right, any other questions? Go ahead.
Now, in Ezekiel, where in Ezekiel did it talk about the dry bone?
37. All right, any other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, when you were reading all the Romans, and the Most High was going into all the trees and branches, really was talking about us and people. Would that be considered when they talk about how the Bible speaks in parables?
Yeah, what we was just breaking down right now, the reason why they released the Bible because they scrambled it up so much, right? They thought we wasn't going to be able to break it down. This is why when they took the pop out the book, that was the biggest piece right there because we didn't understand how a Hebrew could be a Gentile. You see what I'm saying? But when we brought this back to the book and we put all the history and the Zondervan Bible Dictionary and all of that, oh, it's over. We didn't kill the game, right? So they released the Bible making us think that everybody is the same. Remember, they want to kill the name of Israel. They don't want Israel to even exist on the planet. And so this is how they're able to move around and do whatever they want to do on the earth because the Israelites don't care about the Most High. They don't know about the Most High. They're not doing the Most High's will, right? But now that we coming back doing His will, all the wars going on, earthquakes, hurricanes and floods everywhere, because we changing the earth. When we come back, the whole earth got changed. They're going to bow down to the Israelites. Because we covered.
That's like when you was reading earlier, I think it was Romans or somewhere you went in today where Most High had turned his back on the earth. He didn't bother with us to come down here at all. Now he's coming down.
Yeah, now he's listening to the earth, like, where my people at? We like, here we are, High, right here. Keeping your commandments. We keeping your Sabbath, your holy days. We ain't eating nothing we ain't supposed to be eating. We giving our best to you. Everything, we ain't playing. We going in for the Most High. Right? All right, any other questions? All right, well, we're going to end it right there. All praise to the Most High for everybody on Facebook. Be around for next week. Part 3 of the Bible Unlocked. We are breaking down all of Paul's writings so you can understand them. So be ready. I think we're going over Romans chapter 5, I think, about the circumcision. So get ready. All right. All praise.
We go. With my people, casting out the evil, speaking about the kingdom, giving you a preview, shooting down the eagle, cleaning up the fecal, pointing out false doctrine, show you it's deceitful. You know we gon' feed you, but only Abba can keep you. So if you can't keep up, leave cause you free. But you know that we do, same thing that we do. California Hebrews, rounding up the sheep. You know where we are, Vernon and Crenshaw, giving you that word, giving you that law. We know you are chosen, but many are called. Look up in the mirror, tell me which one you are. Don't respond with your words, just respond with your heart. It responded for you, it said you received that mark. Yeah, you got the clothes, yeah, you got the cars. Yeah, you gained the whole world, tell me what did it cost?
Cost you your life, cost you your soul if you don't pay attention. You put a price tag on your spirit, now you pay with interest. Time to get your life in order, none of that pagan business. Put down that blunt, pick up that book, let's see you face these scriptures. Cause it's a difference when you really in tune. When you surrounded by believers and the topic is truth. Open your heart, prodigal son, the Father stopping for you. With open arms in the form of these California brooms.
I've been with my people, casting out the evil, speaking about the kingdom, giving you a preview, shooting down the eagle, cleaning up the fecal, pointing out false doctrine, show you it's deceitful. You know we gon' feed you, but only Abba can keep you. So if you can't keep up, leave cause you free to. But you know that we do, same thing that we do. California Hebrews, rounding up the sheep.
California love, California Hebrews, California Hebrews, California love, California Hebrews, California Hebrews. Shout out to my sisters, shout out to my ox, shout out to my Hebrews serving them Cali blocks. Gotta stay encouraged, keep that word coming, resist him and he flees, keep the devil running, y'all. California love, sing it, y'all. California Hebrews, California Hebrews, California Hebrews, California love, California Hebrews, California Hebrews, California Hebrews.